You may have seen this demonstration before. I'm going to show this to you only because it blows me away. Every time I do this, it blows me away. Now, here's the scenario. You've gotten an image from the client, and then you realize in the layout that you're working on, wrong format. In other words, wrong aspect ratio. Maybe you need an ad banner, and you've got a 4:3. Or maybe you've got a 16:9, and you need a square. You know, what do? Well, up to now, you would end up having to blow the image up, shrink it down, crop the image, or whatever. You're losing content, right? So here's what we're going to do. The most amazing wow feature of Photoshop CS4, if you ask me. I'm going to go up and say, I would like to do some content-aware scaling. Now, let me just, in fact, before I do that, let me just undo this so that you don't see it. In fact, I'm going to step a little, oops. I didn't want to close it, just wanted to show you that there is no tricks here. If I was to widen this image, you'll notice that the people gain weight very, very rapidly. Okay? Of course, if we went the other way, that ship would never float. Right? So we've got big problems here. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just actually going to go back and just not apply that. So we're back to the original. I'm going to go choose the content-aware scaling. I'm going to say, let's do some content-aware scaling. What I'd like to do is have that fill out the entire space just like that without the people gaining weight. Say, actually, what I wanted to do is actually shrink the image down. Actually, what we needed out of that was a square. It's okay, you can say, oh my God. Wow. Okay, how does it work? I'm going to show you how it works because you're going to need to know this as you begin to try it on your own images. Let's actually go back over here to Bridge and grab another image to explain. Oops, don't apply that. How this works. Okay, so again, I'm going to do it just like I normally do it here. If I was to do this, of course, you see the surfers gaining weight, the board's getting very, very long, etc. All right, so not what we wanted. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to, once again, choose to select the image. I'm going to say, I would like to do content-aware scaling. Okay? Without doing anything, when I now extend the image, you'll notice the guys stayed okay, but they went back in time, back into the 80s. Can you see that? They got longboards now? Come on. My jokes are good. Okay. The content-aware scaling saw the guys, but didn't see the surfboards. Why? Well, that's the essence of content-aware scaling. What Photoshop is actually doing, and this is what you need to know about doing it with your own images, is Photoshop is actually looking for large areas of similar pixels. So what it was basically doing is it looked here and said, I can see sand, I can see water, I can see rocks. Those are what we term as background. But then it saw the guys and said, that looks like people. They must be in the foreground. The problem is the color of the surfboards is very, very similar to the colors used in those elements that we thought were background. Therefore, it's saying I can distort those if I need to. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to take our quick select tool, and we're just going to, first, I want to change the brush size. Do you find yourself doing that a lot? Click a tool, change the brush size, click a tool. You don't ever have to go up to this brush's size anymore because you see, you can actually change your brush size right here, right here on the application by simply saying, I want to hold down my Control and my Option key and just change your brush size right there. So I'll make a bit smaller brush just like that. And then I'm just going to say, let's grab the surfer dude right there. Let's grab the surfer dude right there. Grab the surfer dude right there. Notice I did not make a perfect selection. It's not about perfect selections. It's just about getting enough of those similar pixels that Photoshop is going to be able to identify them. And then I'm going to go up here to my select menu and I'm going to say save that selection. Now, I'm just going to save that selection. We'll call this Greg. And now we'll stop the selection. We'll go back, select our image, say we would like to do the content-aware scaling. Now, when I scale, you're going to see that everything has still happened like we saw it happen a minute ago. But you and I know that I made that selection, so I'm going to go up here and say Protect Greg. And watch what happens. Now, what it is doing, if we were to zoom in, Photoshop is not stretching the pixels, it's duplicating and creating new pixels within the image based around the pixels that it finds around it. Okay? Now, will this work with every image? No. But it will work with any image that have very large areas of very similar pixels.